Oh no! Oh! Out of all the films that come out this past March, The Lost City was actually the last thing on my radar. The film stars Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, Daniel Radcliffe, and Brad Pitt, and in this film, a romance novelist is kidnapped by an eccentric billionaire and is forced to go on this wild treasure hunt based on one of the books she has written, and it's up to her male cover model and a couple of her other friends to go on this rescue mission and try to save her, while at the same time it pretty much just turns into this action comedy film. For those who don't know, I actually work at a local movie theater. Yeah, a YouTube critic, and here I am part time. I work at a movie theater. Coincidence? I think not. But, anyways, I've seen so many previews about this film, and I've seen so many trailers about it. It's been repeated over and over again at my workplace. And my first reaction when seeing this trailer, my prediction for this film is that I'm thinking that this movie is just basically just gonna bomb. The trailer looks terrible. I just thought it was too cliche, and it could possibly get nominated for a Razzie Award. Yeah, that's pretty much my expectations for this film. Pretty much a throwaway Hollywood movie where a bunch of actors just sign on for this film just to get a big paycheck, nothing more and nothing less. But lately, my friend and I did this personal thing where apparently I watched some of her rom-coms that she's interested in because she's into rom-coms, and unlike me, who I'm not really into rom-coms as much. I'm a fan of all genres, but it's my least favorite genre per se. I did say that I would watch some of her films if she accepts to watch some of my films that I'm interested in this year, and we actually were able to work that out. So yes, I was able to watch this film in theaters. Here I am expecting that this is going to be the worst film of the year, thinking that without any giving it chances or anything like that. And I can positively say that The Lost City is a fun and enjoyable film. This is shockingly a good film and is actually quite acceptable. The best thing I can say about this entire film is the relationship between Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. They are very funny and very good on screen together, and they do have this very good chemistry between one another. And for Sandra Bullock, it was actually quite shocking to see her in this film because I've only known her to be in films like The Blind Side and Gravity, but to see her in the comedy, she just nailed the role in both her dialogue and character movement. And for Channing Tatum, who I actually do think is the funniest character in the entire movie, he does come off as this good looking guy who's all brave and he has his physical asset. But yet, in reality, he's really just this goofball who really has no idea what he's doing, and yet he's trying to go the distance and try to save somebody that he cares so deeply about. And like how we've seen in the trailers, Brad Pitt is obviously in this movie, which I kind of figured would be kind of like a cameo role, which I'm not completely wrong. It's not a brief cameo role. It's more like he does have this pivotal character in a few scenes here and there, but then again, his cameo is just longer than I expected. But there are times he actually has been a scene stealer and quite a little bit hilarious at times. Now, as much as I'm giving this film some praise, this movie's not perfect, and most films in the world aren't. This film does have flaws itself, like for example, Daniel Radcliffe's character, who I haven't seen Daniel Radcliffe perform in the movie since the end of Harry Potter. Man, I feel old. His character is pretty much a cliche, treasure-hungry villain who's just trying to kidnap the main protagonist just because he just wants all the treasure for himself, and it's just all one-dimensional. And his motivations in this film are very unclear at times. Also, there are times the film will also focus on Sandra's manager, who in this film is trying to go on the mission to save her, but at the same time, the comedy, the way how it's structured and the way how it's executed, it really didn't work at times, and I barely chuckled in the film. I know the whole purpose of her character is just to be the comedic relief, but it just wasn't my cup of tea, and it's just very didn't really come off as funny. It was more like forced, really. The last thing I can really complain about is considering within the third act, there is this one scene in particular where a volcano blows up in the background, and when the camera is zooming into our main protagonist, you can obviously see that that entire scene in there is fully CGI, and it just took me out of the film for just those few seconds, but even if it's just only a few seconds, it was still very distracting at times. This film is pretty much a parody towards romantic novels, where instead of the whole handsome guy going in to save the damsel in distress and have hot, steamy moments, this film is just pretty much just trying to do everything, kind of like have the same elements, but they just reverse it, which I think was a good direction by the Lee brothers themselves. Which I have not seen any of their films prior before that, but considering that this is their first film that I've seen from them, they're off to a good start. This is the first time in a long time where I can actually say that I've enjoyed the slapstick comedy that wasn't an MCU film. I don't think I actually had a problem with any of the comedy at all, and that's the thing about it. Comedy is all about timing. That's something that I actually learned from my theater arts teacher back in high school, and that's actually one of the toughest things to do. It's always about timing, and if you can get that down, you can actually have a good time with the audience, and you can actually give them a few good laughs. In the end, this is just a fun, enjoyable film with characters that have great chemistry between one another, laughable moments, and also some fun action sequences. And I think you're really just going to have a good time at the theater. I was originally thinking that I was going to give this film a 2 or a 3 out of 10 at most, but shockingly, The Lost City, in fact, gets a 6.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Look forward to more movie reviews to come along in the future. So anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe here to the channel for more content. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.